This is my review on the director's cut of Fast and the Furious 6. I think it's called The Fast and Furious 6 or Fast and the Furious 6. Not sure if it has the. I can't remember if it has the Fast or it's spelled just Fast without the what. I'm not sure if it's spelled with or without the. I'm trying to remember that part, okay? I'll put the real actual title in this in the uh, in the bottom of the video in the title. When I titled this video, okay? So this is my review on this movie. I love this movie. It's great. I really like this a lot. I like the story once and Lady's back. Toretto's who's played by Vin Diesel, and he is uh his girlfriend's back from the dead somehow. Explain the movie why she's back. Turns out she really didn't die, but suffered a complete case of amnesia and doesn't remember who or what her name was. And so she, instead of being on Toretto's team, her family was her family, her team. She is now on a different team, but she doesn't remember her own teammates. Even when she sees their faces, she doesn't remember them all. Never ringing any bells. Okay, so so Paul Walker finds out this who's playing this Ryan plays this ex cop Ryan called Ryan, and he plays Paul plays this guy called Ryan who was who's with cop in past installments, but in this he's been on the run since he decided to help bust Vin Diesel character out, Dominic Toretto, from going to the slammer on a prison bus. Basically, this is what happened. Is what happened. And so he basically busted him out from going to the slammer after he was going to go for a slammer for a long time. That means prison, I believe. I think I'm using the word right. Anyway, so yeah. Now they're all on the run, wanted fugitives. Now they're both wanted fugitives, and his team's the one fugitive. And in case those who, everyone on Toretto's team, Dominic Toretto's team, including Letty, who's has a case of amnesia, and was all fugitives finding fugitives of the law, and helping Dwayne Johnson and who plays Hobson. This guy called Hobson character who's like this big top of the line in this cop business. He's got a new right-handed partner, a new partner who I forget what her name who she's played by. I forget what her name is, but anyway, yeah. So she's pretty good. Let me start to question why is she so good at her job, and you get the feeling is she going to turn out to be a bad on the bad guys team? Because I feel like that's what's heading, you know. At least, just from my point of view, that's why I got a feeling from it, because she kept on, like, succeeding without the trial and error thing. It's weird how nobody ever, like, expected that she might be a little suspicious. Considering she seems to, not be surprised anything the bad guys are pulling out, out of their deck. Basically, she's not seems to be surprised about what the bad guys are doing in how they're committing all these crimes. So yeah, it seems kind of weird that when saw it coming, I guess, because that was a big twist in the third act. That's when you think the leader of the gang is asking Letty for back, asking if she's coming back. If she's coming back, he was actually talking about Hobbs' partner talking to, and she said, "Yeah, you know I am." Yeah, she's a bad bitch. The bitch is on the bad guy's side, apparently, I guess. And this is having sort of after him, the main bad guy and his side gang get captured behind bars. Then Hobbs decides to stick up for Toretto's family and pull a gun on this general to let the person to tell him to let the prisoners go. So Toretto's family and his best friend's wife and which is also Toretto's girlfriend at the time, or maybe she's this. I don't know. I don't know if the girlfriends right now. I think the girlfriends, but or they could just be having sex and off and on. You know, friends with benefits. You know, it's not really clear. Okay, considering how easily he ends back with Slutty at the end, even though she doesn't recover her memory at all. When they're having dinner together as family, and after the mission, after all else and ends well, so yeah, and of how Paul Walker's character finds this out that Lei has memories missing completely because his character did a dumb idea to put her on the field undercover. And she ends up getting not this shot in surviving. She ends up getting shot in surviving. That didn't give her damage. She was getting shot in surviving. But getting hit by a vehicle did it. After she's about to take on the main guy for round 2. After he shot her, and then one of the henchmen hit her. Hit her body, and she went flying through this, flying right down the hill, and woke up in the hospital and had no memory of who she was or her name. So he recruited her and basically kind of manipulated her and pretending that he cares about her as a friend, and even when it's clear this douchebag doesn't care about anybody but the mission and his success in the mission, and everyone's just expendable to him. And Lady Stasis is early on sees is the first interaction with him and Letty. She sees right through him, like that. She gets such good feelings that since when did everybody became expendable who fails at the job or screws up? Or doesn't completely doesn't completely succeed, but kind of halfway succeeds. It's just he just like wants to just kill them off and expendable and replace another one. And she starts to wonder. She asks him, "Is that what we're going to?" Asks him, confronts him about it, and asks if that's going to happen to her when she slips up. And I guess she's conflicted about throughout the film because that's kind of one of the things what makes her go back to Toretto's team, though she doesn't have any of the memories back. And Ryan, who's Paul Walker's character, confronts Letty about why she has amnesia and why she doesn't remember who he is. And so Lace tells us to save her. The reason, whatever happened, I might not remember anything, but I knew to remember. Nobody really tells me what to do. I make my own decisions. She says, and then he tries to confront Toretto about it, his best friend. Then he basically tells him to save it. Whatever you learned in that prison, that you just voluntarily came up with that diabolical plan to find out why about how to get laid back and why and what's going on. It was for you to know, not me or anyone else. Even when his information could have been a little useful, probably might have pissed him off or God knows what, but it would have been useful, but Vin Diesel decides to say, fuck that, that's not important. What's more important is getting Letty back. Okay, that doesn't make that much, that's a little, that always kind of bothered me the rug way, made me cringe a little, because really, you don't want to know, so why did you let him go into that prison? And let him get arrested, and just so he can get information, and you didn't want to hear what the information was. It makes no sense, Toretto. You know, yeah. To me, it doesn't make that's confusing. Of course, it's not as confusing as some of the plot holes in these Marvel movies from Marvel Studios. Then it's not half as stupid the plot holes in Marvel Studios movies made by Marvel Studios. That's what they're calling themselves. Yeah, so canon MCU is also known as okay, blah blah blah. I'm falling off track. So, Vin Diesel also character Toretto races late and loses and gets, well, it's kind of a tie. She sort of puts a hold on race and drives him into alley and just talk with him, and she wants to know why he's falling. Why did you want me to race you? And she says like you can tell by a lot about the person way they how they drive, and to me you're pretty much the same person I remembered. And she admits that she doesn't know who the heck he is, and says. And he tells the story about when they were like a bunch of kids, and a bunch of kids, young kids, and driving, and that he was trying to impress Letty, and Letty thinks that the one that got saved was her, but he was actually the one that got saved by Letty. When he was, after driving and got into a car accident, she pulled him out of the fire, pulled him out of the car before it exploded. Anyway, he got into a car accident, she pulled him out of it, and saved his life. I'm not sure if I'm remembering all the details correctly. It's been a long night, but I've been up all night, okay? So, in the film, it's been a couple of weeks since I've seen this film, okay? So, I'm doing my best to keep it visual. I'm going to review the theatrical, so if I got this, wrong, I'll just bring up in the theatrical cut correctly when I do review the theatrical cut. Now, the thing is about this director's cut, this doesn't change any of the continuity in terms of the story, but it does like, have all of the camera shots, it does, how like the thing is about the this cut of the film, the director's cut. Remember why when you watch this cut over the theatrical cut of the 6th Fast and Furious movie? It's because the theatrical cut has a bunch of jump cuts within the scenes of the action scenes, of every action scene. And that's been a problem since pretty much Fast 5. To the point it became extremely noticeable. Seriously, the jump cuts in the action scenes up to Fast 5 and after Fast 5 to Fast 8. I haven't seen the 9th one yet, but there's a 9th one. Yeah, and I'll go and see that eventually. When I'm still trying watching stuff mentally. It was my OCD. So yeah, I think I said all I need to say. That's been a problem with the jump cuts in every action scene, practical or CGI action scene. There's a bunch, tons of jump cuts. Like jump cuts after jump cut after jump cut after jump cut. You just like you want to scream out and say, "Oh my gosh, that was the jump cuts!" And whenever, so the action scenes weren't the best things about these movies. Once they got to 5, and from 5 to 8, and everywhere in between 5 and 8. for the Fast and Furious movies as a whole. In fact, they were very the weakness about them because of the major jump cuts that happen so consistently often. It happens way too often in every action scene. When I say every action, I mean that completely, literally, 100%, literally, honestly, in every action scene. It's kind of annoying. Look, I can handle jump cuts to a certain point, but this is pushing it beyond my certain point. These movies push it beyond a certain point. It really tests my patience to when I'm surprised whenever I hear people talk about the theatrical cut for these movies from 5 and to 8, up to 8. From 5 to 8 and everywhere in between of these Fast and Furious movies, that people say, oh my god, the action scenes are incredible. They hold on to the shots. There's no jump cuts. They're fucking lying to you on these people on the internet because there's tons of them. There's more jump cuts than there is any Michael Bay movie from his Transformers franchise. Or any Michael Bay movie anywhere, including when the jump cuts are the ones that are the most consistent in his Transformer movie franchise. Well, I will say the good thing about those ones, he cut back on the jump cuts as the series went on. But it seems like as this series goes on, these get more and more consistent with the jump cuts. But just to cut away to the action scene, just could cut to another action scene, to cut to another scene that's having an action scene, and another scene that's having an action scene. It's like you're wondering what's the point, and most of the times it's going to be the same action shot by a different angle, and they'll keep on jump cutting it. Like, to a point, it doesn't. It lasts. These jump cuts, at least most of the time, or all of the time, I'm not sure, more or less, happen in a matter of seconds, under a minute. Yeah. And the theatrical cuts only, from 5 to 8, and everywhere in between 5 and 8. Okay? I just had to put that in. I really, and it drives me nuts. Hopefully the 9th one, if there's a director's cut of the 9th one, I'm going to be pissed if there doesn't, because I'm worried that they'll do this with the 9th installment. God, please don't. Yeah. And the jump cuts happen more often in each installment, okay? I haven't seen the 9th one, but I'm worried about that, okay? Happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen as often. I can only pray. And number 5, Fast 5, titled, is the most non-stop action for scenes in the Fast and Furious movies, and that one has the most jump cuts. I swear, because it's non-stop action. When it's non-stop, it doesn't stop ever. It's just like has a huge adrenaline rush, and it's like taking an adrenaline pill, but like also if you had like epilepsy, it's like that was like taking a theatrical anyway for Fast 5. It's like taking injecting yourself for adrenaline, but then you start having epilepsy and you start or start blinking too fast, or to a point you can't remember what it was happening, or spacing out several times. It's just not the best action movie. It's my least favorite in the franchise, Fast 5, actually, come to think of it. For theatrical cut wise in the franchise of Fast and Furious. So yeah. Still like the movie a lot. Of course, that wasn't nearly as good as the past ones before the 5th one. And did got better. And now the thing is, like, each installment after 5, except for the ninth one because I haven't seen it. That one has the least often that has like the least amount of action and scenes of action scenes, but stuff like the jump cuts don't happen as often, but they happen more consistent when the action scenes do get started. And that continues on. That's the course of the pattern with how it gets worse and worse after 5, up to 8, which I am not counting now. Okay, 5 to 8. For the Fast and Furious movie. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going back to talk about the story of the 6th one. Okay, and so yeah, they get Letty back, and Lay's charmed by the story. It's kind of like loves the story that loves remembering the moment they shared together as kids, and that was like the moment he fell in love with her. The moment she saved his skin from dying from a car accident. So yeah, and he says how much he misses hanging out with her and misses her, and good to see her again. And once before she drives off, and then he has a meeting with the head bad guy of the group, and says you might well just quit now because you're not going to get Letty back. You might just quit now and leave town. And he says I'll leave town. I'll leave. I'm out. I'll leave once I get Letty back. And just when he found out he brought backup and have one of his guys pull a sniper on Toretto. Toretto has Hobbs. Yeah, Dwayne Johnson. Hobbs pulls a sniper on the main bad guy, and and Hobbs is backup, and he put a tracker on, and Hobbs put a tracker in Toretto's car, and Hobbs once he says this again, he says, "You're lucky I had a tracker in your car and put it in there," and Vin Diesel he found the tracker, Toretto, and he takes off the tracker. I was fucking me this tracker, and Hobbs is amused by it, and let the bad guys go away, and save Toretto's skin. Bad guys go away. Toretto and Hobbs and his gang and his Toretto's team are about to get the jump on the fucked up version of Toretto's team. Is basically what they are, and just when they're about to ambush them, before they go to ambush them, Toretto and his team. He realized that Hobbs is going to the wrong location. It's a fake location. Basically, it's a trap. Well, not a trap, a goose chase is what I meant to say. Okay, because he wanted them to go there while they go to commit this crime at a completely different location, far from where they're going, and they the team's just committing a bunch of casualties. Lay's actually saying that asking what he's doing. The is doing so much too much collateral damage. Just like a lot more than they usually do. So well, they are driving a tank, and on this way to with this crime, and I think they're going to blow up a bridge. I think I don't really remember what the plan is. Quite remember what the plan is, but anyway, the point is, Letty almost gets murdered and gets completely backstabbed by her new team. that is not Toretto's team, but a fucked up version of their team. And Toretto risks his life and makes the jump to catch Letty and not know that anything's going to cushion them or if they're even going to make it. But decides to take a leap of faith and save Letty. That's his ex team member and also his ex girlfriend. Also, that doesn't remember who she is. She doesn't remember who he is. So she asked him after once they are talking when they regroup together. She's asking him how did you knew there was a path to break out fall. He says I didn't. Sometimes you need to take a leap of faith. He says, and that's when Hobb pulls a gun on the general and he lets the prisoners walk. And because the prisoners decide to threaten Terrell and sister and also person been sleeping with, but maybe a friend, maybe just a friend. I'm not sure. Again, they decide they're going to. They figure. You know what the plan is? They're going to steal the whole thing. Why Hobb wants them on board for this mission is because they are trying to steal something that and that's basically a natural level that's a threat to the government and the natural